Chapter 15.5 Seeds of Distrust. The fortress buzzed with a tense energy in the days following the fall of Vyova. The courtyards that had once been silent and oppressive were now alive with people, some rebuilding, others gathering in clusters to discuss Azural's leadership and the victory they had achieved. Yet despite the progress, Azural could sense the weight of resentment simmering beneath the surface. Azural watched from the balcony, her gaze falling over the crowd. The remnants of Vyova's followers, those who had surrendered and pledged loyalty, were met with skeptical glances and murmurs from the other villagers. Some whispered of vengeance, others avoided the former followers entirely, their expressions wary. Soraya approached, her face lined with worry. "They're still fractured," she said quietly. "These people carry wounds that go beyond the physical. Vyova's presence lingered here too long, and the mistrust runs deep." Azural nodded, her brow furrowing as she watched two villagers arguing with one of the former followers nearby. "They need more than my word to believe they can move past the shadow of Vyova. They need a reason to trust." Talvar joined them, his expression hard. "And if we let these divisions grow, they will turn to anger and betrayal. You need a way to give them ownership in this new world we're building." He paused, then added thoughtfully, "A council, perhaps, where everyone has a voice, including those who once served Vyova." Azural's gaze sharpened as she considered the suggestion. "A council," she echoed. "They would all have a stake in the future, a place to speak, to share grievances. And it would show them that this isn't just my fight. It belongs to everyone." Soraya's eyes brightened. Yes, it could give them a foundation, a reason to put aside old hatreds and to look forward. If you call them together and lead with purpose, they'll see the possibility of peace. The next morning, Azural summoned representatives from every village, every faction, including the former followers of Vyova. They gathered in the great hall, the walls that had once held fear, now hosting the hum of voices, filled with the hope and uncertainty of a new beginning. As Azural stood before them, the hall fell silent. She could feel their eyes on her, some watching with open admiration, others with skepticism. Taking a deep breath, she spoke, her voice steady. "We have won a victory, but the shadows of the past linger," she began, her gaze sweeping over the crowd. "Each of us carries scars from Vyova's reign. His darkness has left us wounded and mistrustful. But if we are to rebuild, to move beyond what he did, we must come together. This council will be the foundation of our future, a place where each voice matters. If you have grievances, let them be heard here. If you have concerns, speak them freely." A murmur rippled through the crowd. One by one, the representatives stepped forward to speak, some voicing their pain, others sharing stories of survival and resilience. Azural listened, her heart heavy with the weight of their experiences, but also strengthened by their determination. As the day wore on, a quiet resolve began to settle over the gathering. The anger and resentment didn't vanish entirely, but there was a sense of cautious hope, a glimmer of something stronger than fear. By evening they had reached an agreement, a pact to protect the people of this land, to root out any remnants of Vyova's influence, and to rebuild as equals. For the first time, Azural saw a unity forming, however fragile. Later, as the crowd dispersed, Talvar approached her, a faint smile on his face. "You gave them a reason to believe. It won't be easy, but you've set them on the right path." Soraya nodded, her gaze warm. "They see you not only as the one who freed them from Vyova, but as someone who's building something they can be a part of. That's a power no shadow can break." Azural looked out over the fortress, her heart filled with a quiet satisfaction. The journey to healing was only beginning, and she knew there would be more trials ahead. But as the first stars began to dot the night sky, she felt the fire within her burn steady and sure. For the first time, she truly felt the weight of her role, not just as a warrior, but as a protector, a leader. And as she looked over the land, she knew that whatever darkness might come, she would face it not alone, but with the people she had come to see as family.